Hi there, I'm Sarah from Great Days by Sarah, and today I'll be taking you through a basic yoga flow. We're going to introduce some basic forms, basic postures, and whether you're brand new to yoga or you're coming back to this practice daily, it's always nice to refocus on alignment and how the breath should connect through your practice. We're going to start in mountain pose. Please stand up. We're going to start with our feet apart today, a little bit wider of a base. And we'll start from our toes and work our way up all the way to the top of our head so we can make sure that we're in a good foundation for this posture. Spread all 10 toes really wide. And then press up, lift up your heels a little bit. And then as you press down, heels ground down, toes ground down, and your weight is evenly distributed through your whole entire foot. Not leaning to the outside or the inside, front or back. Moving up to your legs. Focus on your quads, these large muscles in the front of your legs. Now engage them. Lift your kneecaps and then squeeze your thighs together. Maybe you'll feel your thighs internally rotate. Really engage throughout. If it feels better to have a little bend in your knee, that works too. Tuck your tailbone under, just slightly. Lengthen through your spine and roll your shoulders down and back. Palms can face you, or for a little bit more energy, face forward. Really extend your fingertips towards the floor. Gazes out over the horizon, and then pretend you have a string on the top of your head and it's pulling you skyward. And we breathe. In through the nose, out through the nose. Long inhale, long exhale. Maybe close your eyes for this last one. Inhale. Constrict the back of your throat. Ujjayi breath. Exhale. So it may sound like the ocean. Blink your eyes open, and then just come down gently onto your mat into child's pose. Now for child's pose, knees can be together or knees can be wide. Big toes touch, and then sit your hips back. I much prefer having my knees a little bit wider, almost at the very edge of my mat. And then as you curl down, maybe you realize that your forehead can't hit the mat. A great modification, stack your fists and rest your head. If you have stiffness in your lower back, which a lot of us do from sitting during the day, this is a great modification so your back of your neck can relax, your shoulders can release tension. Once you sink a little bit further, maybe you only need that one fist on your forehead, or flatten your hands, and then if you're ready, reach your hands all the way out in front and drop your forehead to your mat. Now once again, we're going to make this an active child's pose. Reach out through all 10 fingers. Press back your hips into your heels. Close your eyes if it's comfortable and connect with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Press yourself up to tabletop. Hands will be underneath your shoulders. Fingers spread as wide as your toes are spread in the mountain pose. Once again, evenly distribute your weight. A lot of us, especially if we've been doing this a long time, have our weight into our palms. Roll your weight into all 10 fingers. Can you lift the middle of your palm? If you had a tiny marble, could you have a space underneath your palm for that tiny marble? Knees are going to be directly underneath your hips. Toes untucked. We're going to go into a cat-cow. Inhale. Eyes gaze towards the ceiling. press your knees apart. Inhale brings you all the way up. Tail towards the sky. Gaze up. Exhale. Squeeze your thighs together, round your back. Inhale, last time. Biggest back bend yet. Exhale, squeeze your thighs together. Check the weight in your fingertips, make sure it's still even. And then come back to a neutral spine. Reach your right fingertips forward, your left toes back. Find a little calf stretch here. Maybe rock forward and back before we lift. Front arm lifts, back leg lifts. And we're just going to hold for today. So pretend someone's pulling your right arm so far out in front of you. And your back leg is flexed strongly, like you could kick through a wall. Now check out your hips. Are they open? Close them towards the ground. Bring your focus to your belly button. Pull it up into your inner back, or your middle back. And reach a little further. Gaze can be slightly in front of you. Make sure you're breathing. Last one, option to close your eyes. Really slow and switch. Start with the tent of your left fingertips. Right leg comes back. Find your calf stretch. Make sure your right hand is directly underneath your right shoulder. And then lift your left hand, lift your right leg, but only so much that your hips are still facing the floor. It doesn't really matter how high your left leg goes. Now really extend through your left arm, extend through your right leg, and make your body as long as you can. And breathe. Extend and breathe. Last one. Challenge your balance and close your eyes. Inhale. And exhale. Bring it down slow. From here, slide your knees back just a little bit. We're going to go into what will be eventually our Chaturanga, but I'd like to show you a few variations. So we're going to send your knees back a little bit, and then send your hips towards the floor. Make sure your hands are directly over your under your shoulders, and we're going to just start with a tiny bend. Toes can be tucked or untucked. Tiny bend, and press back up. Very small. Now, if you've done these a lot of times, you might be tempted to come all the way down and all the way up, but I'll show you why we're going slow to start. In your Chaturanga, in this pose in yoga, you don't really want to go past that 90-degree angle. So yes, I could do a full tricep push-up here, but that's not going to help us in our Chaturanga. So as you go slower, little lifts and little lowers, find your 90 degrees. I'm not touching the floor with my chest, and press back up. Eye gaze is still down and in front of you. I'm going to do one more like that. Lower down just to 90 degrees if you can even get that low. And if not, just make sure your elbows stay hugging in and press up. It also doesn't do our body any good if we come down and we can go low, but our elbows are out to the side. You want to hug your elbows in so they rub against your rib cage the entire time. Plant your hands in front of you and send your body up into your first down dog and upside down letter V with your body. Now maybe your hamstrings don't love this. Bend your knees, heels can stay lifted. Press your hips high and back behind you. And if you're feeling tightness in your shoulders here, I like to turn my hands out just a little bit and make them a tiny bit wider. Do what feels good here. Maybe you pedal out your feet. Swing your hips side to side. And then once you get all the wiggles out, find yourself into this still pose of downward facing dog. An upside down letter V with your body. Gaze can be back in between your feet or even up to your belly button. Inhale one last breath, maybe eyes closed. And then shift forward into plank. First plank of the day. Hands underneath your shoulders. Legs are extended long. Maybe you need to modify, and that's fine too. Keep a long spine. Wherever you are, we're going to go into this Chaturanga, but we're going down and up. We're not going into an up dog. So Chaturanga, knees or feet, press back up. Chaturanga, elbows stay close, press back up. Last one like this. Chaturanga, press back up, and then slowly lower yourself all the way down onto your mat. Untuck your toes. You can rest your head to one side. And we'll move into a Cobra. Eyes gaze goes down, hands are back near the side of your chest, towards your ribs. And inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up, toes stay on the ground. Exhale down. Option here to go into up dog or repeat the Cobra. Upward facing dog. Hips go towards the floor. Notice my thighs are lifted off the ground. And lower all the way back down. Maybe press through a child's pose. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Now we're going to put this all together for a flow. Inhale, bring it forward to plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Modify as you need to. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more with your own breath at your own pace. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog. Then we'll take our left foot and step it forward. Crescent lunge. Lining up your feet first before you lift up. Make sure your feet are on railroad tracks. They're not on a balance beam. Spread all 5 toes on your front foot and make sure it's directly facing forward. It's not turned out, it's not turned in. And then as you come up, use your hands if you need to, into this deep crescent lunge. Notice my back heel's lifted. My left leg is straight and strong. But now we're going to fix our hips. So my hips are a little bit slanted this way. I'm going to bend my back knee because it helps me square my hips off. I pull my right hip forward, my left hip back just slightly. And maybe my back knee stays like that. Or I extend it to the best of my ability and my arms come up. Gaze straight out, or for a little bit of a challenge, up where the wall meets the ceiling or the sky. And breathe. Relax your shoulders. Find a deep bend through your front leg. Just make sure your knee stays directly over your ankle. It's not sliding in front. One more breath. Maybe close your eyes. Hands come down. Step back, plank or modified plank, and take it through your flow. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One breath to reset. Press your hips high. And then take your right foot forward. Set up first, railroad tracks. Big toes facing forward, knees directly over ankle, and lift up. Readjust your hips. This time left hip comes forward, right hip pulls back, and then extend through your back leg. Maybe you need to adjust your feet a little bit. And find this deep bend. Once the lower half is set, reach up, gaze up, crescent lunge. Arms are strong, reaching towards the sky, nice and straight. Breathe, extend through your back leg, press out through the back of your heel. One more inhale, maybe challenge yourself, close those eyes. Reset. Hands come down, leg comes back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One breath to reset, shake out your head. This time, left foot goes forward, and we turn our heel down, coming up, setting up for warrior one. Right foot is off at an angle, probably about 45 degrees. Coming up, warrior one. Virabhajasana one. Here we go. Knee over ankle. Back leg is straight and strong. Biggest difference, foot is angled out to the side. Maybe your hips aren't squared this time. They're open slightly. Relax your shoulders. Arms are still strong. Gaze out front or slightly up. Breathe for one more. And bring it down to your flow. Exhale. Inhale brings you up to upward facing dog or Cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale brings you forward, right leg. Turn your heel down and turn it out to the side. Toe goes at an angle. Set up your legs first. Arms come up to join warrior one. How deep can you sit in that front leg? Make sure your core is engaged. You're not letting your back go, sway. Straight and strong. And one more breath. Circle those hands down. Take it through your flow. Remember, only to 90. Inhale brings you up. Exhale brings you back. Back to the left side, adding on. Left foot steps forward. Same setup with the feet. Plant the back heel. This time, rotate it all the way up, warrior two. So maybe make your stance a little bit wider. I always need to. Bend through this front leg. Extend through your arms. We're not here as long, so get as deep as you can. Really reach out through your fingertips. We're going to reverse our warrior this time. Front knee stays bent. Reach it forward, and then reach it back. Then when we reach it forward, side angle, forearm on the knee, top arm can reach straight up or over the top. Just don't close your chest. Open your chest towards the front. Peek up underneath that armpit. And don't lose that deep bend with your front leg. Right back to warrior two, only for a breath. Hold it. Now straighten both. We're going to go into a triangle pose. I always need to bump my back leg in a little bit. Then my hips go back. My arm reaches forward. You can reach lightly for your shin. and turn your chest open. It's great if you can touch the floor, but if you're all the way crunched down here and this side body doesn't have any space, it doesn't do us any good. So I'd rather have you be a little bit higher, or even on a block if you have one available, or a water bottle or something to stack, and open your chest. Triangle pose. Gaze is up towards your thumb. Top arm and bottom arm are straight and strong. Your core is so engaged you can lift this hand. Maybe sway it a little bit. We'll come right back up and turn it to the other side. Turn your left foot in, right foot comes out, warrior two. Find the deep bend for your front leg. Back foot is turned in, protect your knee. Find the straight, strong pose first. Remember, not here long. So don't wait, drop into it. Reach it forward, keep the deep bend in your knee all the way back. Reverse your warrior. Back to warrior two. One breath. And we straighten through your front leg, and then maybe bump your back leg in just a touch. Hips go back, arm goes forward. Keep those arms as straight and strong as you can, and then it's just a tilt. Maybe you don't have any weight in this lower hand. Gaze is towards your thumb. Triangle pose. Breathe. Bring it back up. All 10 toes face the same direction and forward fold. Hands can be on the hips. Keep your back as flat as you can for as long as you can. And then let your hands release to the floor. Let your head hang heavy. Make sure your toes are facing the same direction. And then start to pull your feet together. They will not move, but you'll feel it through your inner thighs. Pull your feet together like you're going to wrinkle your yoga mat. And then if you can, reach out and hold the outside of your feet, the outside of your calves, and really feel that action. As you pull your feet towards each other, and no one knows you're doing it but you. For 3, keep pulling. 2, and 1. Slowly roll up, all the way to the top. Roll your shoulders back and down. Step your feet together. Coming into one balance today, tree pose. I'm going to ground one foot down, hands on my hips, and I can start with a kickstand. I can raise it up to a calf or raise it up to my inner thigh. Tree pose. Hands can go heart center or stay on your hips if it's easier. Pressing your knee out, hugging this hip in, making yourself tall and strong as a tree. Press your foot into your thigh as your thigh presses into your foot. Last breath, maybe close your eyes. And come out just as slow. Drop it down, other side. Start with a kickstand. Start with the knee turned out. Maybe a calf. Maybe all the way up to inner thigh. You just want to avoid your knee. Don't have your foot on that inside part of your knee. One side is usually better than the other. Hands come to heart center. Pressing your knee open. Pressing your foot into your thigh, thigh into your foot. Core is super engaged. Press your palms together firmly and then press your thumbs against your sternum. So steady, so balanced. You close your eyes for our last breath. Come out slow and have a seat. We're going to come into boat pose. Our last bit of strength for this practice today. Tilted back, back is flat. Heels are on the ground to start and reach your hands forward. Maybe you just stay here. You'll feel it all through your core, especially those lower abs. Maybe you lift one, keep your back still flat, and maybe it's just here today. You can lift both as long as your back stays flat. Arms can stay out. And then if you have the hamstring flexibility, the ab strength, and the hands and your balance, reach it up. But make sure your back still stays flat. As soon as you start to round, go back one level. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down slowly. Do the world's slowest roll down into your back into Shavasana, our final resting pose. Legs straighten out, arms down by your side, toes can fan out to the edges. Take one more controlled breath. Inhale, exhale, let it go. Settle in to Shavasana, final relaxation. Let go of the control of your breath. Let go of anything that you're thinking about. Thank yourself for showing up on your mat today and going through this yoga basic flow. Your body and mind are incredible for having done this today. And you should give yourself credit for that. On your next inhale, arms come overhead. Legs stretch out as if you're waking up from a long nap. Hug your knees into your chest. Roll over to one side. Sit up comfortably with your eyes closed if it feels good. Just into a comfortable seat. One inhale together. Exhale, pull all that positive energy into your midline. Back to your thumbs, come to your third eye center. The light in me bows to the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Great practice today, and I'll see you soon. Go have a great day.